This year, I'm doing something crazy, something a little bit drastic for this next year. For both this channel and also my other channel, Hero Scrub, I'm going to be doing a challenge, a vow of sorts. Some might look at this as, hey, that looks like a Nazarite vow. This is called a GAMERITE vow. It's catchy. There's many games that I've missed out on through just being the age I grew up with. So while my life has been plagued with playing new releases and experiencing that, but also focusing on the past and trying to understand what makes a classic RPG and these classic experiences, I've created a backlog. Especially with doing this journey of wanting to show it with you guys and take that journey with you, I've kind of made an even bigger backlog because every single time I get a game, I'm like, ooh, The Witcher, that'd be a great game to play and cover. But I want to wait until I can cover it on the channel, which means I don't play it forever. With this challenge, this GAMERITE challenge, this vow of sorts, I am making a decision to tackle my backlog. We'll go into a little bit later, especially on my podcast Bread Ends. It's more where I talk about more Christian things than just gaming. I'll go in depth on the Nazarite part that I will be following, but the gamer side is what we're mostly focused here. So for the most part of what you look at as a Nazarite vow, I will be covering. I'm not going to be touching dead bodies. I'm not going to be drinking alcohol, and I'm not going to be cutting my hair. Funny enough, this is actually the biggest reason why I decided to do this job. I wanted to grow out my beard. That was it. There's a common thing of it called a yerd, so a year-long beard, and I was like, I'll do that. That'd be fun. And then on top of that, the thing was, why not? Just grow. I've been wanting to grow my hair in general. Why not tie that in? That's most of the stuff for a Nazarite vow. Why not I do that? And then on top of that, that's where the gaming side came in and like, why not do this for a backlog? I had questions from some people who were like, Noah, why are you doing this? The simple answer is, well, when you were a Christian and you started learning different things like fasting, didn't you want to do fasting? Wasn't there like a spark of fire to be, ooh, that would be a cool thing to do to set apart? Well, just like fasting, a Nazarite vow is very similar. And while in the Bible, what we normally see in cases is people who are doing it lifelong, like Samson was supposed to, we are not going to. It actually was normal to not do it just for a lifelong. You could do it for a set period of time. It actually is like, if you don't dedicate like a certain amount of time, it's a month. We're doing a whole year, baby. So that should be interesting to say the least. What am I restricted? What am I not allowed to do with this GAMERITE vow when it comes to gaming? I cannot buy new games. This hurts my soul when I think of some of the amazing games that might be coming out this next year. But no matter what, I will be restricting myself and forcing myself to play games that I already have, giving me a reason, an excuse to play these games and talk about these journeys with you guys. We will be using a wheel to decide what games I play. This should be fun. Our first stream that we'll be doing this will be the first day of the new year. I'm already planning on streaming Returnal. It's a roguelike that I've been wanting to cover. It's an old game, so it's like to fit the theme, we're going to be doing that. But at the beginning of that stream, we will be spinning the wheel, and we will be spinning the wheel 3 times. We'll then have choose our starter, and then within the community feedback, the little group chat that you could do, I will be doing a poll there to where you could pick which game I cover next. Now, do I have to beat the games that I am forced to play? No. Here's the thing. If I drop the game, that is okay. We can spin the wheel again to decide, because an important problem that could easily come up is me not wanting to play the game, not feeling it. And that's important. If you're playing a game, you should want to play the game. That's actually like a tip towards defeating your backlog, is make sure you actually are having fun and want to play the game, not just make it a chore. But to incentivize us beating the game there is a point factor. You get points for getting to beat the game. That's your reward for doing it. And what are these points for? Simple. It is to increase our odds of other games. So with the wheel we're using, there is weighted chance of other games being more likely to be picked. And so at the beginning of our stream, we will be rolling a dice, and that is how many points I get to put on to weight a game. And it could be one game, could be multiple games, and I can weight it to make its odds a little bit higher. Kind of incentivize games that I'm actually more excited for, maybe like Witcher, than some other games that are on my backlog that I'm still kind of like, I don't really want to play it. And so beating a game will allow us to do that. And so beating a game will actually reward us with more points to incentivize us to play other games. I think it should be fun. I think it's lighthearted. It should be enjoyable. We'll see how it goes. Really the first time I've ever done something like this, so hey, we're gonna run with grace, baby. I think one last caveat is that the fact of what we're playing. So for our normal streams that I do on Hero Scrub, I usually stream on Saturdays. Sometimes Thursdays, but for sure Saturdays. And that's where these streams will be going. On Mondays, I like to play roguelikes. It kind of alleviates some stress of the main series to have a fun, whatever roguelike I want to play. But as I've done in the past, if I do want to stream the game that I do on Saturday, so like, for example, right now we're playing a lot of Baldur's Gates. I might do a Baldur's Gate stream on Monday. That's the same here. That might happen, but for the most part, we're still doing roguelikes. I'm not buying new roguelikes. I'm still restricted to just roguelikes I have, which is fine. I still have plenty of roguelikes to beat, so that's nothing wrong there. But if you do want to catch the streams that are covering games that I are forced to play through the wheel, they will be on Saturday early in the morning. It's totally okay if you can't make it, and if you just want to watch them archived, totally fine, that's okay. And sometimes I stream Thursday. So those are the game plan. I think another caveat is the fact that, hey, a loophole to this is if a game is gifted to me. I thought about this and I was like, oh no, this would be okay. Pre-ordering games, that's kind of okay. If I pre-order them now, then it's okay. But one thing we talked about, I was talking about with different people that I know, Christian friends, and just bouncing off this idea of like, what would be okay, what wouldn't, kind of like, what is the boundary line? And of course, it's a very gray area on my own relationship with God and what I want with this vow. But one of them is like, oh, I'm really excited for Hades 2. Can I put aside money as if I'm pre-ordering it for the game? We both agreed that that's a little scummy and is not okay. So there is some loopholes to where if there is a new game and if my brother or my wife got it for me, that's okay. That is okay. And I'll address that when we get there. But for the most part, it should be just games that I already have. If you want to know what games are on the list, what are the chances, I will link down below the Google Docs that I'm using right now to kind of like chart down every game. It's not full. I have more stuff on the actual wheel itself, but that should give you a good idea. And of course, if you have some suggestions of games, you could always send them down below. Of course, I like to know what games you want me to play, and there might be a few more games added with the end of this year. There's a sale, so I'm looking at some games if there's more classics that I might want to cover this upcoming year. But I hope you join me on this journey. I'm excited to see what are the results and what is the experience. Please pray for me for if games like Hades come out, because man, is that going to be hard not to want to play. But it should be good. All right, I'll see you guys next year.